Have you ever wanted to learn about divination? That's coming up right after this. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Mel from Mel's Divination, and today we're talking about divination. No, I'm not repeating myself. We are actually going to talk a little bit about divination. Now, I want to be clear, it's a little bit. And the reason why it's a little bit is because divination is a gigantic topic, and I know for sure I'm going to forget some stuff. So I am sorry, I do apologize if I forget stuff. I'm not perfect, I'm human, and divination is ginormous. So I'm going to go over the ones that I'm aware of. I probably will forget some stuff, and I am sorry. Again, please forgive me, but I will share everything that I know, use, think of, and the like, and feel free to comment stuff down below of divination that you use that I've forgotten to mention. It's not intentional, it's just, there's a lot. So, what is divination? Let's talk about that for a second. Actually, and why did I name myself Mel's Divination? I named myself Mel's Divination because I'm a reader, I'm an intuitive reader, and I use a lot of forms of divination. So divination is divining with the universe, divining with your intuition, using a divine channel to connect with guides, with source, with ancestors of the like, and using all different types of forms and formats to connect in that way. That's what divination is. There's a lot of different kinds and approaches to doing that, and some people use different kinds. One that I'm thinking of right now that just popped in my head, this is my second time doing this video today because I was doing it without demonstration and I decided to demonstrate after all, that I will not have a demonstration for is bone throwing, because I don't do that. But bone throwing is kind of a thing in certain witchcraft circles. It is a thing. People will shake them and throw the bones and read the bones. Mel doesn't throw the bones. Mel doesn't know how to do that. So that is one form of divination that happens in certain cultures, in certain types of witchcraft. I don't do that. But it is absolutely one form. So, and like I said, there's definitely going to be kinds that I am not either aware of or forget to mention, and I do apologize for that. So let's go over the ones that I do know and that I am familiar with. So the ones that I talk about a lot, that I have shared with the most, we're going to start with that, is tarot. And I know this is going to be backwards, and I am sorry. So we have the Knight of Swords. So this is a tarot deck. This is a traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck, okay? And we have Knight of Swords, Knight of Wands. We have all different kinds of cards, okay? So this is a traditional tarot card from a traditional tarot deck, Rider-Waite tarot deck. Tarot cards are very, very traditional for divination. This is also the Wheel of Fortune, so this is a major arcana. There are different kinds of tarot. There are different forms of tarot. There are some, like I'll link my Spacious Tarot walkthrough above so you can see a more artistic approach of it. This one's more traditional, but they both have the same kind of concepts. There's 78 cards. There are major arcana cards, there are court cards, and then there are just typical everyday cards like this one. There are suits as well, and they all have 78 cards. It's a system, a tarot system, and no matter who the author is or how the art it goes, it's still the same kind of concept, okay? That is a tarot type of divination. Now, what is divination used for typically? It really truly depends what the person chooses, but often divination is used to ask a question. It's encouraged by most witchcraft practitioners to do some kind of divination prior to doing a spell to see if there's going to be any kind of fallout, if there's going to be a mistake. How is this going to work out? Should I do this protection work? Should I do this healing work? Should I do this? How will this, what do I need to know before I sit down and do this working? You can ask things like about jobs. You can ask things about money. You can ask things about people coming and going into your life. What lessons have you learned? What will you learn from a situation? It truly is open-ended depending on whatever you're asking. Sky's the limit, okay? So I hope that kind of makes sense. I've done past life readings. It really, truly depends. So the next one that I want to share with you guys is the Oracle system, Oracle decks. So I've shared some of those. I will link some of that above here and down below in the description box. So this one I've never shared on the channel. This one is the Rebel. This is the back of it. It's Rebel Oracle, Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. And this is what one of the cards looks like. They are usually very artistic based, and they are to trigger your intuition. They often have all kinds of pictures and are more about, they're very different than the tarot, because the tarot has a very traditional, okay, Knight of Swords means something's coming in fast. This one, it's whatever it's open to whatever you interpret. What do you interpret? What does your intuition say? So it really truly depends on, what do you pick up from this? What are you seeing here? What are you feeling here? What did you ask? So it's very different. And also Oracle card systems are different depending on the unit, different depending on the author. Some are 20, some are 30 cards, some are 45 cards, some are 50 cards. It truly depends, to each their own. I hope that makes sense. So the next one that I'm going to talk about are runes. Now runes, and this is where I was like, I really have to show them. Runes are symbols. Runes are a similar system to a tarot type of system, but they are not as intuitive as a tarot is. So tarot, you have pictures, you have images. So if you haven't completely memorized the definition in a tarot, you can still look at the picture and kind of be like, okay, well, this guy's moving pretty fast. There's some air in it. He has some speed going on, right? You can look at the picture and kind of figure it out a little bit with the picture. It doesn't work that way with runes. With runes, here's a rune. Where's my camera? There we go. So that is a symbol, right? You can't really use your intuition there. You got to know what the definition is. What is that symbol? What is that, right? So these runes I actually have for sale on my Etsy shop. They're a red jasper. So that's one. I'll show you one more. Or two more. Here's another one. Oh, and this one's a blank one. This one's blank. There's only one blank rune in the entire thing. And I think a set of runes, all right, let me refocus on me. So I think a set of runes is like 26. I can't remember. So I haven't done rune readings in a long time. That's how I started. That's how I started doing divination back when I was a teenager, was with runes. I've gotten away from that, and I've done more tarot than runes, because tarot has 78 versus runes have only like 26, 20 something. So I've leaned more towards the tarot and less from the runes, and I may pick them back up again someday, but right now I haven't really been using them. So Typically, traditionally, runes are carved on stone or wood of some kind. Sometimes they're made out of clay. It really just depends on the medium used. And they do reversals the way that tarot does reversals, and they each have their own definition. The next is scrying. So scrying is typically done in a mirror, in water, or in a crystal globe. So I have a globe right here to share. So often when somebody does scrying, they'll look into the globe and they'll divine the type of images that they see, and they try to figure out what it means. Now, I'm not good at scrying. I have tried it, hence the crystal globe, but I haven't really mastered the art of scrying. It's not something that I've gotten really good at yet. It is something that I'm interested in. It is something that I want to continue to work on, but I just see upside down pictures of a reflection of what is already there. I would love to continue to work on that skill. The next thing is pendulum, which I've already shared with you guys before, and I will link my everyday magic book review up here because I have shared that. So this is a pendulum. This one is not for sale. This one's a tiger's eye. I actually have a few pendulums for sale on my Etsy shop if you want to check them out. They're a little bit smaller than this though. This one's a tiger's eye. Usually pendulums will often have a little knob at the end of them. And I will hold, you can also make a pendulum out of a necklace of some kind and just wrap it around your finger. And often when I do it, I will hold it and I will say to attune it and make sure it is properly attuned to me. I'll say, show me yes, and it'll swing back and forth, usually forward to backwards is typically my yes. And then I'll say stop. And then I'll say, show me no. And then it goes the other way. Side to side. So I'm not moving, as you can see, my arm isn't moving. And that's how a pendulum works. So, and then there's like maybe and ask again. That's how I use a pendulum. Another one, you can also have pendulum boards, but that's not how I was taught, so I don't use one, is, and I know this is backwards, reversed letters, I'm sorry. This one I got from the Witches box. You guys probably know what this one is. This is a spirit board. Yes, this is also divination. I have not ever used this. I'm not sure if I should be ashamed to say or if I should be proud to say. Right now it's just decoration. It is beautiful, but I'm very unsure about how I feel about that. I got it because I ordered a Witches box from and I will link that above, from the Witches box, and I thought I was getting the September one, and I ended up getting the October one, and that came in it. And I've been kind of unsure about spirit boards because I always saw them as like a portal to opening a space, a pathway that you don't really want to mess with unless if you really know what you're doing. And yeah, so I haven't done it. I haven't used it, but it is a way to do divination. So let me know below if you guys have ever done a spirit board and what you think, what your experiences have been. I've heard mixed reviews, so I haven't gotten rid of it. It's beautiful. I use it as a decoration for now. I'm on the fence. I have not done anything either way. And another way to do divination is tea leaf reading that I am not going to demonstrate right now because I also don't know how to really do it. But you drink, the concept is you drink a cup of tea with loose leaf tea in it. Once you're done drinking it, my understanding is you flip the cup upside down on a saucer, and then I believe you turn it, and then you read the symbolism on the saucer. But I've never done it. I don't know much about it, and I wouldn't begin to try to teach it because, again, I don't really know much about it. I think that is everything. I also have an old book of Romani folklore that I know that they throw salt over their shoulder and they kind of read the symbolism in the salt of how it lands. But I can't really think of anything else. So that's everything I can think of at this time. For divination and different forms of divination, how you interpret things was really up to you and your intuition and your guides, your channels. And working on your intuition is really important. So listening to those gut feelings, taking notes, writing, journaling, if you ever work with any kinds of oracle cards or runes or I still have rune readings from when I was a kid that I wrote everything down of what I thought was going to happen when I asked questions, and I go back and look at things and almost everything I had predicted back then came to light. So especially when you're first starting out with working with your intuition, those kinds of things, you want to write stuff down so that you can look back and be like, that I was right there. So you can learn what those feelings and hits and hints in your intuition mean. And that's really it, I think. So let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if I missed anything, if there's divination that I missed. I believe people also do divination in their candles. They do readings in their candles, but I don't do that. So I don't want to talk too much about that because I don't know anything about that. So I hope you guys have an awesome day. I hope this was fun because this was a fun one for me to do. And like, comment, subscribe, share, please follow, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye.